Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Backcast, where I, Adam Upper, talk with Braydon Cuddy about Batman, the animated series. And this week's episode is The Terrible Trio, which is not the kind of threesome you want. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm still feeling foxy.
So, yes, this week's episode is The Terrible Trio. It was the 71st episode produced and the 81st episode to air, airing on the unfortunate date of September 11th, but 1995. So still a few years away. Do you remember what you doing on the less important September 11th?
I believe that I was watching the landing of the Soyuz TM-22 Russian spacecraft.
Sure, I know exactly what that is.
I was looking at the image right here, and I'm like, this looks like more like a missile than a spacecraft. Is this like a Cold War that we just avoided, or just came to
well, well,
rear its
well,
ugly
well,
head?
well, that would have been not too far after the Iron Curtain fell, right?
That's right.
So it wasn't that far off. But yes, the teleplay for this episode was by Michael Reeves. The story is by Alan Burnett and also Michael Reeves, and is directed by Frank Power. I said I hope I saying that guy's name right.
So I had messaged you earlier in the week, and I was confused, but I relayed the message all the same. Apparently, Bruce Timm considers this the worst episode of the show, and I'm
Uh,
surprised.
yeah, maybe worse villains of the show, maybe, but but
Worse
not
than
worse.
Sewer King? Worse than Josiah Wormwood? Bitch, please.
Or was it Batman? It wasn't me that was saying that Batman in the Basement was the worst episode, or is that
No,
like
that's
just
you, yeah. But you at least got the penguin with your episode.
yeah. Not friggin' three criminals that friggin' like the one that was like talking like the fox that was talking initially when they were doing their first robbery when the things too. And I was like, I don't like them because they're criminals. I like that guy because he's a fuck talking like a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So, had you heard of the Terrible Trio prior to watching the show?
I like before this watching like the show I the only Batman I was aware of was the Michael Keaton the two Michael Keaton Batmans really because my parents weren't really like big like nerds really so that 66 Adam West Batman was not a thing in my house really like I don't even think I was aware of it until like after like watching the show and being like and because this is definitely my first watching the show back when it first aired was definitely my first yeah, other than the two Adam West two Michael Keaton Batmans my first like really big deep dive into Batman, really, sort of thing. So I definitely would have seen this up. I remember I probably seen this episode at least once when it aired, but beyond that, I don't know this at all. So I'm not even sure if they are from the comics at all, or do you know if they actually are characters or
They are from the
are they like
comics. Um,
similar or
uh, yeah, more similar in this rendition than in the incarnation that I saw. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, the comic incarnation, the Terrible Trio, are these three inventors who wanted new challenges and started a criminal career. So a little bit similar to these guys. And they are the same animal motif, the fox, the shark, and the vulture. The way I know them from, however, is when I saw the 2004 The Batman series, because they put a whole different spin on them. They were three college students who got Kirk Langstrom's notes and basically used it to turn into three manimals.
oh so they just changed like the animal DNA and name themselves or whatever. So
Yep.
they choose like they choose like better animals than like the fox and the vulture, or because that was one of my notes. Like because like the shark kind of makes sense for what they're doing, but the fox and vulture aren't like peak like attack like predators. Like a vulture just eats like dead animals, and a fox I would definitely wouldn't be in my top 3 or 5 like top like predators. So like is a small like so I would go like a lion or something. Like
Yeah. A
lion,
fox is
tiger,
more like vermin.
yeah. Or yeah, definitely, or like definitely rides on the line almost, yeah. Of that. So like yeah, so like I would go on like lion and eagle or something maybe. I feel would have made more sense, but like I don't know, or is that just me?
No, no, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, like the vulture, I'm like, okay, you're kind of getting in there.
Yeah, it kind of like that almost made sense, but still, like if they're just with I guess they didn't really have a quite motif, but I guess with like with their animals and stuff, I thought it was definitely odd choices.
Yeah. I think they would probably have chosen differently if it hadn't been based on the comics, but yeah, the fox is always the leader as he is in this rendition. I don't know
Uh,
why.
But but what did he say though?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know because it's not a word. It's meow, 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 meow. When my
Okay,
niece was like 6 years old, she got obsessed with saying that.
because I had to get that I got that joke at least once. So so
Actually, I'll give you just a quick thing of we had a thing at one of the places I worked at where the I worked at a high school and one of
oh fuck
the marketing clubs had an idea for raising money for Terry Fox Day. If you guys are not Canadian listening to it, it's pretty much like a Canadian fundraiser, I believe, for cancer research.
yeah.
And so this is around the time that that song came out. And so they said, we're going to have a game called Stop the Fox, where if you want us to stop playing What Does the Fox Say over and over and over again during lunch period, you're going to have to donate money to the campaign. And I was like, that's smart because at least you're doing it for charity. I also had soundproof headphones because I worked in operations at the time. So I had that. I was just walking down the hall with a smile on my face. And yeah, I was just like, yep, no, this is charity at work. Good for you.
Yeah, I think my school had a similar thing, but if it wasn't for Terry Fox, it was for some different fundraiser. But it was Peaches, I think. Yeah, I think is what the song was. Yeah, so yeah, almost as an annoying song, but not quite. But
Like
definitely one of
Peaches, like from Super Mario?
no, like the song Peaches, like millions of peaches for me.
That is not the song I know. I'm thinking of like Jack Black going, Peaches, 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 Peaches,
Oh
Peaches is
no,
Bowser.
oh man, no, this is when I was in high school, man. So like, put it this way, I even when I graduated, like my graduation year wasn't this century.
Fair.
So I don't really think Tenacious D was like a thing at this point when I was in high school.
I don't know. You never know.
Or the last or maybe like the last year when I was in high school. I think is maybe when the show came out or soon after. Because actually,
Yep.
I think the show was even after that. I think.
Yep. Well, while you're looking that up, I'll get started on the introduction to the episode.
Oh shit,
So,
1997. Holy shit.
yep, told you.
Fuck. I thought yeah, I always said like 99 or 2001. Fuck. Damn.
There you go. But yeah, so the episode starts with this robbery of the terrible trio, and the fox is beating up this security guard, and he's being very smug about it, like just very like kind of like this is what you like, you put up a valiant effort, lesser
Very,
mortal.
very, very pretentious.
Yeah, oh
So as I
yeah.
said, that's as I said, I don't like this guy because they're criminals. I don't like him because he's a fucking asshole. Talking
This
like
is
an
why I
asshole.
was begging Adam, can we get Rivers on this episode? But it was too short notice. So
Yeah, and being on a Monday, we have had
yeah.
to record like later, and yeah, I had to be out of town by when he had to record. So,
Say I love you. But
so
yeah, I'll channel my inner rivers for this episode because yeah, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's just we can say this much without spoiling too much. These three robbers are just like smug rich dudes, and they're like robbing this. I don't even know what they're robbing. I think they were just like grabbing like a random office's like vault, and the guy says like to the security guard like, "What do you get paid? Minimum wage?" And he does the math out loud, and he's like,
it's like what $10-12 an hour. That's like what 21,000 thousand a year. That's
"Mm,
not quite worth it, is it? Whatever. So he just throws him like a stack of cash or whatever.
"Yeah," and then the guy
But
throws it back at him, and I'm like, "You idiot!"
I think this guy forgot like what city he's living in. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, what are they
Is that
gonna
what?
do? Rob you? They just did. Yeah, so as they're the vulture ironically says time to fly, and he's got like this like vulture crossbow with like a wire zip line on it. And just as they're about to get going, they're like, "Did you hear that?" This is one of the few times that Batman has quote used the door because he just kicks the door open and him and Robin rush in.
And then what happens when they is this do they throw like a grenade at him this at this point, or is that later on?
They had an explosive because like Robin says like I'll catch him, and so he goes like grabbing on the zip line. The
Okay,
fox sees him at the end of it, and they're about to get into a they're like right at the pier of a dock,
okay.
and so he says like you want me Tweety Bird, come and get me, get it, WB Looney Tunes.
And then it's funny. Then I think it's funny that fucking this is Robin saying this. He's like, "All right, boys, it's time for the what is it the costume party to stop or something like that." And we're like, as he's in the fucking Robin costume.
Yeah. You're arguably the most colorful costume in this scenario, Robin. In fact, you might need to talk to Bruce about what he's been trying to do in terms of bringing you alongside him all these years.
Oh yeah,
So,
and then yeah, then too, like as I had on my notes, was like I think as they're Batman has like his grapple following them, like one of the guys like cuts cuts the wire, and
mhm.
then I think it's Robin's one, and then he's able to recover. But I think it's in the the Red Hood animated movie where they're like once he first shows up and tries to get away and does one of the moves as Batman like tries to like grapple his like leg or whatever, and he does like a move that he's trained him and fucking cuts the line, and he's like and then he has like a recording device or whatever, so they're reviewing it when they get back to the Batcave. And he's like, "Yeah, look at that. Like, do you know many knives that can cut my line or rope or whatever the fuck he said or something like that?" So it was like, so how'd this random fucking rich kid have like a good knife, or is it because of this he upgraded his fucking stuff so he didn't wouldn't get cut so easily?
Good point. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that Batman is the type who would be upgrading his arsenal. So,
So that's I just as that one of the guys did that, it made me think of that movie. But which I haven't watched in a while, so I think I need to watch it again. I think it was
of
pretty
all
good.
the straight to DVD, like, or straight to home release, like animated Batman movies, it's my favorite. Mostly because it's got my favorite Batman villains all in one movie.
Yeah, because I think like Black Mask is in that one for a bit. I want to say,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Which
still pissed, by the way, that Roman Sionis is not in this show.
yeah. That's definitely one of the Batman villains I'm not super familiar with.
This podcast is
But
over. Goodbye.
well, I said like, well, what if the little I have seen of him though, I do like, but yeah, I definitely I haven't read much with him in it. So yeah, so I definitely like was one of the characters that I was introduced to like very like late in my Batman game, I guess. And then, but I definitely did like him showing up in the Harley Quinn movie with
You
us.
know, Black Mask, like for a while, I was like, why does he keep on getting dumped on in all these like animated adaptations? And then I realized, I guess that's kind of the point, is that he is this cross between like organized crime and like the supervillains of Gotham, but with delusions of grandeur. Like he thinks he's like the toughest SOB on the street. And in some ways, he does get like a good criminal organization going. But when you're going up against guys like the Joker, Bane, Killer Croc, I mean, there's only so much you can do. Like money and bullets are only going to do so much.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably like Gotham's probably got better mobsters than him as well if he goes that route too. So he's fucking screwed. Yeah, screwed either way. So yeah, so like pick a lane and take it, man. Like come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So does this mask like give him like powers, or is it just like kind of fused to him or whatever, or is he just wear it just for as
For
part
a
of his
while, it was just a
shtick?
mask and it had been like fused into him like by like a fire, I think. But then I think it's like a Year of the Villain when Lex Luthor was working for Perpetua and like he was pretty much giving villains upgrades. I think he gave him the ability to use the mask to like mind control people or something like that. I could be wrong in that regard, but the mask had like an extra supernatural effect to it.
Okay, yeah, that's
But yeah, speaking of masks of a different kind of animal, yeah, so they're about to escape, and Batman says to Robin as he's like running down the dock, he's like, "Robin, hold up!" And they say he smells it, and what he smells is apparently TNT because
dynamite.
they have the friggin' dock ready to blow sky high.
Dynamite. Yeah, so they wait for a couple of seconds, and he's like, "Oh, changing plans," and like then actually ends up setting it off nonetheless. But which Robin does try to jump and escape it, but of course, if it was like several sticks of TNT in there, so he does get caught in the explosion and gets thrown into the water. And Batman, instead of going after them, yeah, that looks like he knows that he got caught in the part of the explosion before he wasn't able to get away from it. So he jumps in the water. And I think he's like unconscious, and then gets him out of the water.
Mhm.
And,
And
and then
the next scene is them. Well, it's them looking at the newspaper, and he's like, "The terrible trio is struck again," and like Robin's in a sling now, and like I do like, by the way, that they try and tie it into like they're like three predators, and I'm like, okay, so like you are going for like air, sea, earth kind of thing. I'm like, all right, that is a stretch. I've definitely seen some more stretched conclusions in this show in itself, but I was
yeah,
like, all
but
right, like you're trying to tie it all together.
Yeah, but as I said, like just like the animal choices was somewhat suspect though. But I kind of get there going at, but like choose better animals, man. You guys have, I'm sure you guys have better fucking, imaginations than that, or is that because they have so much money they can't? They have so much money, but they still can't buy an imagination.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like when we got to the next scene of Bruce. Okay, what's first of all, what is that game called that rich people do where they say
It's a
pull
it's a skeet shooting.
skeet shooting? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they're at like a charity like skeet shooting like event or whatever. Like so, I guess they're like it's like the rich people trying to are they people betting on them or do they or do the rich people like give the money or or how do you think that was like
I'm
what
gonna
was that
imagine they were.
what was the actual charity of this so I guess they need to do something but how do you get a charity of skeet shooting I guess or
I have no clue as to how that works. I just know that Bruce is the one who's organizing it, which only confuses me more. Bruce Wayne hates guns. So
that's what I
why
was gonna
is he
say.
such a good shot with a gun?
well, with that aspect, being a Batman, he's probably trained and everything. But I was going to say, like, this might be the like the one time we see Batman slash Bruce like use a gun, like an actual like a gun.
Yeah. And he's joined by this redheaded guy named Warren. And as he's like
My name's
getting,
not fucking Warren.
oh, where is that from? I know I recognize that.
That's Empire Records.
Oh, okay. I've seen the meme. I
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah,
seen the
yeah,
meme.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like, for those like, which is funny because I think it was last week was or last like week and a half was Rick's Manning Day because like, which is like it's like a day in the life of like a records like a CD slash record store like that was popular back in like the the staple of every mall. But I think this was like a standalone one. But and he was like a shoplifter. And so like yeah, they caught him and brought him into the back room and they were calling the cops and they were like asked me like hey, what's your name? And they just said Warren because it just fucking just because he wasn't giving up their name. So they just so he's ends up staying that character for the rest of the movie. So they just everyone kept on calling him Warren. And so by the end of the movie, somebody said to him, he's like, "My name's not fucking Warren." And he's like some little fucking bratty little kid.
Kind of like this
So
guy.
yeah, but you've not seen Empire Records,
I will see
and that,
Empire Records when you see Titanic.
but Empire Records is a good fucking movie though, man. What the
I
fuck?
said my piece.
Okay, hey Siri, remind me to get a new co-host.
I'll never let go,
Uh,
Adam.
uh,
I'll never
uh,
let go.
as I said, like I remember one of us knows how to fucking post this and edit this, right?
Well, I know how to post episodes now. I just don't know
Uh,
the credentials to get in there. I do legitimately do want to watch Empire Records. It is on my bucket list.
yeah,
I'm
so yeah,
between so much now, and like between this show and dude, I still haven't caught up on Reacher. Like that's the thing
oh,
is like I don't know
that's
where
good.
I'm gonna find the time. Plus, I'm watching stuff for my show. Like
So have you started Reacher or are you just not all the way through yet?
I watched like the first episode. And I'm like, this is good, and then a lot of life happened very fast.
Yeah, just if you haven't seen the other guy in that, or you've probably seen like the promo stuff for it. But I remember, Reacher is like at my height. Reacher six, like the Alan Richardson is he that Reacher's marked as 6'5", but but the guy who plays him 6'3", so I'm 6'3". So
Mhm.
just remember just remember that when you see the other guy,
Oh, you're
so you
talking
know what I
the
say.
bodyguard?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that dude was friggin'
or yeah,
huge.
or Polly or whatever the fuck his name was. Yeah, I can remember if he
Actually,
was.
because a bunch of people are pitching for Alan Richardson as Batman. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the bodyguard. They're like this guy should play
they,
Bane.
yeah, but also too, like I think you probably want to cast like a central or like a Central American of sorts, I guess, to be more. But yeah, but for size wise, definitely, yeah. But nah, that just made me think of Batman and Robin for a second.
Really, you're not thinking of the other Bane who's not Mexican?
I know, I know. I just like that, just like in the size wise, I was like thinking that. Then all of a sudden, that's what popped to my head, and I'm I'm still pissed that was my first Batman movie to see in the theater.
But that's perfect because it's a
No, it
cartoon.
wasn't. but,
It was the
but,
first one I saw in theaters.
but cartoons are supposed to be good, though.
It was good for my nieces and nephews, but they were like between the ages of like 6 and 4 at the time.
I know. It's funny that George Clooney like apologizes for that. Well, like yes, you were like the face of the movie, but it wasn't bad because of you.
No.
You didn't write and direct the movie and produce it and be like and say yes, we should put this movie out. You were
Yeah.
just unfortunately cast in the movie and did do the best you could do with what you were given.
Yeah. One day I want to rewatch that movie with you, but yeah, I still say we save that for like a Patreon episode or something. But
I know
yeah.
we definitely don't enough listeners to warrant like Patreon getting Patreon because at most it'd probably be like one person.
That's all it takes.
No, I'm
Dude,
not doing that.
I will
I'm not.
pay the Patreon. I don't care.
That I'm putting out like $100. I'm not doing the
Oh,
fucking
for
extra work
Pete's
for
sake.
it because I'm not doing all the extra work for like $5, man. Fuck that.
$100 Patreon. $100 entry fee or like $100 worth of patrons?
uh, the,
Don't
the end
answer that.
result,
I don't want
the end result might not be worth it, but but you'd be paying for my work for my work. So
Fair enough. So yeah, Warren is this like smug prick, and I don't think it takes much for you guys listening to figure out that Warren is like the fox. Get it? Red
yeah,
hair
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Because even like through this conversation, like they do some sort of like reference like that would have caught his attention. So I think at one point they say something and like go in for like a handshake or a high five or some shit, and then you see kind of Bruce give him the side eye. But I forget exactly what they said. But yeah, but like there's a couple accidental hints in there that if you kind of knew what was going on, sort of thing, you would have caught on to it. But yeah, then being like Bruce being like the world's greatest detective, yeah, by the end
it
of the
still
scene,
took him a
it's like,
while.
yeah, I think it's yeah, because even me, I'm like, it's like I was probably a dumb teenager when I was working this time, so it probably wasn't until Bruce was giving the side eye, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it, but yeah, it was like, dude, like, come on, like, I got this, like, first time, like, come on,
Yeah.
it should be a little bit faster than this, there, Batman, like, come on,
Well, even like some of the not so subtle hints that like Warren is saying, like obviously he doesn't know that Bruce is Batman, but like he's just like, "Come on, Bruce, you are the superior animal." Like
yeah,
we've been doing everything from like, hunting like great white sharks out in the sea, like we've flown in like hot air balloons, like hunting vultures and stuff like that. Like, we've gone like, you all have to say is like, I'm the fox, he's the shark, he's the vulture. Like that's all.
hey, what's your favorite animal, Bruce? Like, don't say bat, don't say bat, bats, oh, fuck,
Your your mom.
sing,
Yeah, so he's like is saying about like what do you also like talk to your garbage man and thank him for doing the service when he's done? It's like if I see him, yeah. He's like, "Oh, silly Wayne. You'd have to realize that we are of the upper elite, that we belong." Like I was waiting for Pierce from like Birds of a Feather to walk back and like, yes, that's right. You tell him. But no, we get Sheldon Faldrake, I think was the guy's name. This character. Actually, I mentioned Bane a minute ago. This guy voiced Bane. This
oh,
actor, Hector Elizondo, he was the voice of Bane in Mystery of the Batwoman. And I'm gonna assume the answer is no, but have you ever seen Princess Diaries?
I have not, no,
Okay, he
that's
was the bodyguard.
is that the Anne Hathaway movie?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm aware of it, but yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he was like the one character I liked in that. I mean, other than John Rhys Davies, but that's because he's John Rhys Davies. But yeah, he's this
Yeah,
guy.
it's him that's in Sliders too, right?
Mhm.
That's John Rhys Davies. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and a
Oh,
terrible Uwe Boll movie that I think he decided to do instead of Indiana Jones 4, which I'm like, eh, kind of a tough choice as to which is the worst punishment. Like, but yeah, Sheldon, I think is this guy's name, and as Bruce is like having like the commencement speeches of like the charity event and saying like to Sheldon like thanks for coming. He's talking to his daughter Becky, and he's like, "Becky, you must understand that that dress is inappropriate attire for an event such as this." And it's like, are you looking at the same thing I am, dude, because like she's just wearing a black dress. The one thing that was of concern is when she mentioned it cost 5 grand.
Yeah, fashion be crazy, man.
Holy crap. And she's apparently Warren's girlfriend. And he's like, careful, Becky. Dadums. He literally says Dadums. Dadums is looking with disapproval. And he's like, like, well, how much did that dress cost? And she's like, $5,000. And she's like, I don't know how he's going to be able to, forgive me for buying it. And so he's like, don't worry, I'll help you out. So we have this quick cutaway to, I guess it's like Warren's apartment, like his penthouse. And he's sitting by the pool and he writes her a check for 5 grand. She's like, oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Like, I'll be able to slip it in before he notices while he's away this weekend on business. And we have this. Okay. I know that like there is a little bit of the BTOS like writing and direction here. They're like, yeah, like a little bit of this is for us, but like they take way too much time watching this woman walk away in a bathing suit. Like it is just like all you're waiting for is the saxophone music and the like. Yeah, I don't know. Like it was just like I get what you're going for, but at the same time, like the kids are watching, dude. Like
Yeah, I need a pad for time somehow.
it was padded for time, all right. It was like you should actually went in the Matrix go in slow motion.
Are you
So
looking at me or the woman in the red dress?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Somebody was talking about the Matrix not long ago, and I was like, I really want to watch the first to the fourth one just to see how far they fall.
Well,
It-
yeah, even for the first to the second one is a fucking drop and then yeah,
the fourth, they just drop off a
yeah,
cliff.
yeah. Well, yeah. So then that drops me off.
I think that the scene of the fourth one that still makes me laugh is like the the one scene where it's like the guy who's like the new Morpheus and he's in the bathroom talking to Neo and he's just like he give because obviously the whole thing is like the red pill like motif. So okay, a stranger in a bathroom is just offering you a pill and saying, "Let's take a little trip," and just Keanu Reeves just going, "No, no, no!" Like I don't know why that scene made me laugh so much. Like there's a different way you could read this moment. Like lock the door.
Oh, they're just down for a good time, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, where the heck was I going with it? Oh yeah, so Becky goes away and they're like, you just gave her $5,000? He's like, actually, I was thinking I'd see if
We got
Daddy
five
would be
thousand
willing.
dollars. We got
Yeah,
five
got
thousand
five thousand
dollars.
dollars. We got $5,000.
Is that the first one or the second one?
That's
That's
the
the
first
first one.
one.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Excuse
I
me,
fucking love
baking
them.
powder?
Yeah, yeah. At I think it's next month. They're showing the review is showing the second one, like one Saturday.
How come just the
Or
second one?
because it's one of the things that they call to is like it's like the not so terrible twos where they show like the
Oh,
second.
okay.
So there's another one I saw on there's scheduled like before that or before that, and I forgot what it was, but or I mean, maybe Critters 2 I think was in there, but then I saw like Wayne's World 2 was in there, so and it was my weekend off of work, so I got tickets for me and my girlfriend. Because
Nice.
I haven't seen, because I think Cineplex a couple of years ago showed the first one, so I was able to go and see that in the theater. So that was fun because that's still one of my favorite movies.
Oh
And
yeah.
I know the second one's not as good, but it's still enjoyable, and I like Aerosmith. So and Chris Farley's has a more of a character in the second one. So I'm down to go see it in the theater, and the review usually does like like a movie specific, like a little like 11 by 17 poster as well that they sell at the concession stand. So so if they
There you go.
do that for that, so far the only one so far the only movie they haven't had one for is when I went there. There was a couple weeks ago or last month for Return of the King, which was kind of disappointing because I was
No
actually kind of looking
kidding.
forward to getting a poster for that one. So like we got there early because my friend came into town with his kids and they went with my girlfriend. So we got there enough time to get decent seats. So I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'll be able to go I'll definitely get a poster before it sells out. And they didn't fucking have any. I was all disappointed. So I have like a stack of them right
Ooh.
there. I'll show you to them later. But I got one on last Wednesday there because they're showing a Face Off, so part of the Uncaged Volume 4. So and I think on this Wednesday they're showing Pig. So if
Is Pig
I
is
think
it
Wednesday
like
is when.
good in a drama way or in a Nicolas Cage way?
It's a drama way.
That's what I
But
thought.
yeah. I always I don't know why when I was going into it I thought it was going to be like Nick Cage version of John Wick.
Yeah.
But it definitely turned out. But it was definitely like drama, like good acting. Nick Cage, not crazy. Let's see how crazy Nick Cage gets. But it was pretty good. It's
I'd
worth
like to
checking out.
thank the Academy. I'd like to thank the truffle pig that I follow for 3 days.
I know. Actually, I thought he might have would have at least got nominated for something for that movie because
The
it was
marketing
really
alone
good.
for that made it look like, oh my gosh, are they actually trying to get Nick Cage an Oscar?
Yeah, I thought he might have got at least a nod for it, but he didn't. But it's worth checking out. I think.
Right on.
So I thought it was pretty good, and it depending, yeah, because I think I'm going to the Jays game on Wednesday too. So depending on when it's done and how I'm feeling after sitting in those fucking uncomfortable seats for as long, I might go check it out because I think that's like the 6 o'clock movie. I think. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Right on. Yeah, where were we? Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, he says like, oh, I'm gonna have
yeah. We
Sheldon.
sidetracked a little too much.
Yeah, we don't sidetrack enough, dude.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. We're getting into like off my shelf territory here.
I was gonna say we're going into Reed and Richard territory. Like we're going
Yeah,
into
yeah,
Quantum Mania territory.
yeah. You've probably heard at least one of my off my shelf appearances. Yeah, we got pretty sidetracked, like going there. So yeah,
Honestly,
definitely
this
not.
episode doesn't have that much meat to it in the first place, so I think this is welcomed entertainment.
Fuck those rich dudes. You want don't want to give them more attention than they need.
Yeah. So yeah, Warren and his buddies they break into to Sheldon's home and they're like they're just like grabbing things at random. I guess maybe Warren knew through Becky like where the safe was like by happenstance because they find it pretty quick. And Warren knocks over a vase and he's like, Ming was a boring dynasty anyway. And that's when all of a sudden Sheldon walks in with a shotgun and he's like, freeze. He's like, I thought you said he was out of town. And it's like, oh, great. So he's like grabs the phone and he's about to, he just literally just gotten in touch with the police. One of them pulls the cord because he's like right next to it.
Yeah, because they look down, they're saying right, by one of them's right by the wall. Yeah, and he sees the cord is going into the wall. But yeah, back when phones had cords attached to them, people permanently attached, not just almost outdated wired charger. Yeah,
Now we just got
so
good old EMF and 5G.
I definitely don't. I don't remember. I don't miss UHF and TVs. Junk, junk, junk. But I do like that movie though. Have you seen
Oh, I
UHF?
love that movie.
Yeah, I think it was showing that the review. I think last year at one point, but I think I ended up having to work that night, so yeah, so I couldn't go. But if I was off, I definitely would have gone because yeah, that would have been a fun movie to see. But I think it's been a while since I've seen it, so I need to watch it again soon.
There you go.
As I say, I like always like that, like the homeless guy's reaction at the when he gets I think it was like the penny.
Is that where he
at the
turns
end.
into an alien, or am I thinking of somebody different? One of the guys turns out to be an alien.
I definitely think it needed
I'm looking it up.
yeah.
You pick up on the recap, and I'll look it up.
But yeah, he starts saying like, "Hey, I have a robbery at whatever," but so that's where he disconnects the phone, and then he gets gets distracted, so the fox like charges at him, knocks him, and is able to knock him down, and so they continue to start robbing. And they're like, "Hey, the police are going will be here any minute because obviously if you call 911 and it gets actually gets disconnected as you're like mid sentence, they're going to assume that something's up, so they're going to send cops even if it is Gotham. So I think it's I think they end up like grabbing some money and stuff, and then actually they're able to get away because you hear the sirens coming. But you look outside as they're outside and the cops are pulling up, you see one of their grapples shooting down. Which did you think that the angle of that line looked a little too steep for them to properly like?
Now that you
Because
mention
it was
it,
one of those one of those things that or it may have just been the angle of the camera like that. Looking up, but like that looked like the line was a little too steep for like the wheel to catch for them to properly go down.
it was too steep. Yeah, because like when they
But
like entered into his apartment, they used the
yeah,
zip line from across the street.
fine that down. So so that makes sense. You just you're just like you're a couple floors up or whatever sort of
Yeah,
thing. So the angle works, but from like where they were to the ground, yeah, it definitely looked too steep. And then too so with that like cops, look you can see clearly see that the cops didn't see them leave and get into the car because it looked like they were around the corner. And they stupidly they friggin' burn around the corner and take off like by the cops. So you think if you saw that the cops didn't see you, you'd just drive away normally, so you wouldn't draw attention to yourself from the scene of the crime of the robbery that you just friggin' left, and they're there because of you, right?
no, but these guys say they're so good. They are
Like like like
so good.
I know I'm a bad criminal. I'm not going to further elaborate, but at least I know not to
Hey,
fight.
you
At
have to
least
be a bad criminal if you haven't committed crimes. There, see what I mean?
as I said, I'm not going to elaborate further.
I was trying to give you an out, but yeah, we'll let that giant lay sleep in there. But yeah, no, like
I haven't admitted to anything, so it's nothing's on record, and also I am editing this, so I can say
there you go.
I can cut this part out, and unless the FBI is listening, or is it no, it'll be the CIA because FBI is internal, so that's yeah, so fuck you CIA, but
What did you say?
whatever. Okay, I totally forgot. I totally forgot where I was going with it.
You're saying that they're shitty criminals, which I
Oh
agree.
yeah, You don't fucking try it. If you're stealing fucking that much money from somebody, don't try it. The idea is not to draw attention to yourself.
Yeah. Well, neither is like blowing up a dock in front of Batman either, which
Yeah,
like again,
that makes sense. Well, that makes sense because you fucking you injure Robin, so you have to obviously you're, with this Batman, he's gonna obviously going to choose to save Robin, so
I
that makes
guess, yeah.
sense. Yeah, but with this, yeah, don't fucking draw attention to yourself. Like, come on,
Yeah.
that's like making crimes 101. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Philo was the alien in UHF, Anthony Geary's character. He was one of the guys in charge of he was the station engineer.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it was like I think it was like the homeless guy that was hanging around that guy because the I think the guy that was trying to buy them out.
This guy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
but yeah, it's like
yeah, you were saying like taking all that money. Yeah, because like first they're like getting hauled off by Batman like is hauling on their tail, and they have a back compartment of their car with grenades in it.
yeah. That's yeah, like these guys like seem like the extent of their thought process for the crimes was to grab those stupid ass fucking masks and choose like bad animals to go with. So
Yeah.
like I don't think they wouldn't know anybody to be able to be like, hey, like at your fucking seedy, you know, uh, body work garage, fucking put the rig this up in my car sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'd like, and the type of criminals they know are probably people that sell them pills or something like that sort of thing. So it's not like they'd be like, "Hey, go get me go get me a car that craps out grenades."
Yeah. Because
So
they're going
so
on
so
about,
so again, this didn't quite seem like like the car accessory that they would have or be able to access.
yeah.
But it also is Gotham, so I guess I may skew it a little bit. But even then, I live in Toronto, and it's not like I could I don't know where to get it like a legal handgun for anybody. So, but I'm not rich either. So what the
And
fuck
you
do I
never will.
know?
Right?
Now that makes it seem suspicious.
I'm trying to help, Adam.
You're clearly not, man. Like, come on. What the fuck? Like, now I really gotta fucking edit this show, man. What the fuck? I
Yeah.
did hear me earlier say I didn't want to fucking do work.
Well, I don't think the CIA is going to be listening. I can say that much. And if they are,
Like, they're
wow.
Canadian. They know they're joking. Like, they're not gonna fucking do anything.
No, I was going to say, even if they were, I'm like, wow, like, this really, the ship is being held by the right captain for sure. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that these guys were saying we were so good because we've never been caught. It's like, okay, just because you haven't been caught doesn't necessarily mean you're good. It could just mean you have shitty police on your tail, which you live in Gotham City, so take from that what you will. Like, because they're getting like a claw on them by Batman's like a pole cable, and they're like, he's gaining on us. Like, what do we do? He's like, throw the money. Like, what? Throw the money away. And it's like, all right. So like they're like driving down the street and like they throw like this entire bag full of money. And I don't know why. I thought it was really like heartwarming seeing like the citizens of Gotham like seeing like money like just like flying at the and the raining from the sky and them catching it. Until I remember, this is how the Joker lured people into a deadly trap in the Tim Burton Batman movie.
No, it was during the parade though, so like they're already there for the parade, and then he started dumping the money. So
Right.
so this was just like the obviously like a comet trail from the car. So yeah, but yeah, I definitely did think of the Joker too. Like I think of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think when I saw that saw that at the review last year, like as first time in a while I'd seen that movie, yeah, and definitely warmed up to it a bit more because I'm not a huge Tim Burton guy really because I don't like the not a fan of the big I guess the Tim Burton aesthetic or whatever. But every watching that and then seeing Batman Returns like I'd imagine, yeah, I've definitely like warmed up to them both over time.
Mhm.
They're definitely not as like bad or like I don't dislike them as much as I remembered or did.
Sometimes art has to grow on you.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So
Yeah. Even if
yeah,
it's pretentious.
yeah, definitely. Or just looking at it with different eyes, I guess too. Yeah, because I think
Whether you like Tim Burton or not, guys, you have to admit he's pretentious.
oh yeah,
It's like, no, this is how I make the world suit my vision.
yeah.
He's no James Cameron, I'll give him that. That's a mark
Uh,
against James Cameron, by the way, not saying he's a good director. But yeah, so they managed to get away, and I think the next scene is okay. The next scene is the hospital, where this has to be some of the worst animation I've seen on the show of the like father in the hospital bed, it's this like blotchy oil painting look. He looks like he's part of the background. It was just like okay, if Bruce Timm is saying it's the worst episode he's ever been a part of, and he's just thinking of this scene alone, I'm like, okay, maybe there's still worse episodes out there by my recollection, but I'm like, this is just like nobody could have put this onto like the first showing and been like, yeah, this is like totally ready for screening.
Yeah, just put that as a placeholder. We'll fix it later, but they never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Bruce is like to Becky, like, I'm sorry, Becky, like for what's happened. Like, is there anything I can do? And that's when Warren comes in. He's like, oh, you poor sweetheart. Oh, I'll do something to take your mind off things. Hey, why don't you rub me down in body oil? Mm. And Bruce has this look of like, I don't trust what's going on. And he goes to look at Warren. And again, if it had been one thing of like, he goes to look at Sheldon, I should say. If it had been a thing of Sheldon was just completely stationary this whole time, it would make sense as to why he looks like he's blending in with the background. But then when you see Bruce physically turn his head, you can see there's like a halo effect around him as he's like moving his head. It's like if anything, you guys are drawing more attention to how bad this is.
I said to
I
fix it before this, man. What the fuck?
yeah, guys, when I say fix it in post, I mean fix it in post. And he notices this is like little imprint of a symbol like on Sheldon's cheek, and so he's memorizes it, and he goes back to the Bat Cave where he has Robin look into it because Robin's got nothing to do. He's like pretty much on like bench warming duty right now with the Bat computer, and that's where they see it's
It could
like
be. It could be on summer break right now.
that could be, yeah. Yep. And so he's like, it's a fraternity ring, and it's the same fraternity that three of the guys at your charity were at. And of course, it's the same three guys. And so it's like they're guys who inherited like a shipping, aerodynamics company, an oil company, and
And a shipping magnate.
yes. So it's like so he's like air, sea, and I'm
Uh,
totally drawing a blank.
land, air, and sea.
Land. Yeah. Like, what is the fox supposed to be again? I don't remember. But he's like, it all makes sense. But then Batman says one of the craziest things I think I've ever heard him say on this show. He's like, these criminals are worse than the Joker. Really, Bruce?
Oh yeah, yeah, because yeah, he said because he like his reason was because he has like the madness to follow on, but they're just doing crimes just because they want to, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, because as they are cutting to away to where Warren's taken Becky to his cottage in the mountains, like an hour away, and she's like, "I really should be with my father." He's like, "No, you shouldn't. Like we're gonna cheer you up whether you like it or not." And it's like, "Oh, that's not creepy." Um, so he goes to hand her a handkerchief, and oh, when he had been fighting with Sheldon, he took his diamond studded pin, and that pin happens to bounce right out of the handkerchief. And
yeah,
she's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So she then she realizes that was them, the three of them that did it. Yeah, so she tries to get away, and and at this point, was Batman like on the way there at this point, or was it like out afterwards?
okay, so that's the thing I'm confused about. It's like, it's one
Right.
thing if he knew that's where they were because he figures out who they are.
Yeah.
And he's like, so they arrange to, they chloroform Becky when they realize like she's going to tell somebody about them. And so they put her in a car and they're about to push the car off the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
They successfully push the car off. And when
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
waiting
wait,
for the
wait, yeah,
kaboom,
because like the guardrail, because that corner, that part conveniently has like a car-sized gap in it, but it was like where the corner is, like so, like for the guardrail, that's like the spot that needs to fucking to be guardrailed the most is where they
yeah,
push it through.
that's where your taxes go, Gotham residents.
So I guess unless
The
they're going to say
shitty
that,
infrastructure.
or I guess, or it's that's like it's such a fucking blind corner. That's like, yeah, this is like the probably like the second car that's gone through there like tonight, and they just haven't sent the crew out to fix it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so like they're like, well, we pushed her off the cliff, so like she should be dead. And they're like, what happened? We didn't hear a boom. And that's when you hear a jet engine. So, all right, again, if Batman's going up there, that's one thing. He didn't know they were going to do this to this woman. So, why is he there in the Batwing ready to cable tow her car in
Oh,
midair?
oh, I guess there's things because they're so far out. It would have been faster to take the Batwing that would have been trying because I think yeah, because I don't think the Batmobile is would be good for like long distances.
No.
Doesn't seem like it doesn't. Yeah, it seems more like a city car than a you know like a country car. So
But we have established that his bike has snow tires.
yeah, too, yeah. But yeah, I think it would. Yeah, so I think it was just far enough away that would have been faster. Yeah. So, and then yeah, then yeah, you kind of see like at first you see like the car like going off, and then right before it hits the ground, you see like a bat which why I thought was a bat grapple first. So I was like, did fucking Batman like take
Yeah.
some venom before you got there? Then you see it's a Batwing. Then as I said, I vaguely remember this episode, seeing it. Like everybody probably only saw it like once or twice, so I don't remember. I didn't remember the specifics. So it was that. So until I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, Batwing. That definitely makes more sense.
Mhm. Yeah, so the trio's like, "Oh crap." So Robin's like told to, take the wheel. He's like, "Yeah, I've only got one arm at the moment, but sure." He literally says that. So Batman goes out to kick some ass. And so he takes care of the vulture and the shark pretty easily. But the fox gives him a bit
Hey,
of a run for his money.
that just made me think of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when he said the vulture.
Oh, the vulture. Wow, that brings memories.
I know that, which is very funny. Like now that rewatching when you go and watch the first John Wick, I always laugh when like because Vigo's like number two is the vulture because it's a guy who's
Oh,
like
it
always saying,
is.
yeah, because the guy who's like always saying like fucking English Vigo, please. It's a yeah, so like
Stay,
it's
damn
like
it.
yeah. Oh yeah, then at the in the SUV at the end where he's giving him his gun and Vigo's like fucking with him. He's like, "Give me a fucking gun," and he's just like Vigo's just being a dick and not giving it to him.
Oh my gosh.
And I know, like, and again, like, within the last year and a half, like, Cineplex was showed the first John Wick, like one night, so I was able to go, and and in the scene where Vigo calls John Leguizamo to be like, "Hey, I heard you struck my son." He's like, "Yes, sir," because he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And the again, he cuts back and then cuts back to Vigo and the famous scene of him like going like, "Oh." And
Yeah.
like obviously like Fred, like if you see in the theater first time, you really don't quite realize what that means. But like seen it again like
He
last
means
year, and
Baba
that
Yaga
that
is
got like a
pissed.
really good yeah, it was just it played really well in the theater, and it got like it got a really good laugh at that part. Where it's just like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because we all know what because we at this point we all know what that means.
Yeah. And just as I already had a feeling, we're getting John Wick 5 coming out, dude.
Yeah. I imagine though, yeah, because they did the man the end of the fourth one did lead because he didn't die because obviously like once you see him like do that fucking really bad landing off the side of the building, they go and find him and he's not there. So obviously either he was somehow able to walk away or someone came and picked him up and he's and they're gonna nurse him back to health or he's somehow able to walk away.
I want to see a John Wick movie end where like you think he's dead and then a dog comes up and starts licking his face and we don't even need to like see him open his eyes. We just know like he's gonna live. Like that's the closest thing we get to like the horror movie villain like, you know, their arm twitching or something.
uh, Ballerina's out like this year, right?
Yep. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
so
to that one.
I'm down for some Enid Armas.
Mhm.
So okay, never mind. I won't put my perv on show. I'll mention that later. I was
Is
gonna
the
say
one who introduced the episode with that threesome joke.
no, I just hope that there's like I see online every so often like that was like what Andy Darmus, uh, other blonde lady, Sydney Sweeney and Vanessa Kirby were supposed to star in some movie where they have like a threesome together or something like that or
Oh,
something.
for Pete's sake.
By like that's the only time I've heard of it. So I'm thinking that I have a feeling that's probably not real. But
Some
that was just it.
slobbering Hollywood executive is just like, no, that must happen. You will make this happen.
Uh, and I will definitely won't go see in the theater if that happens. Shifty eyes.
We're in an audio medium. You didn't need to say shifty eyes.
I
Now who's
mean,
drawing
I,
attention to
I totally didn't say that out loud.
it? So, yeah, as the Fox is making his getaway, I just call him the Fox. I don't care nor remember what his real name is. He like gets into this like random like shed and whips out a snowmobile. He like body checks Batman with the snowmobile pretty easily. Like you'd think this was Batman's like first week on the job, dude.
Yeah, had Batman had month one.
Yeah. And he manages to like wrestle with him on top of the snowmobile, and he knocks him off like pretty easily. Because I remind you, this is just a rich, spoiled brat who put on a random dollar store mask and thinks that he's yeah. That was probably my favorite part is when they realize like they have to get rid of Becky. He's like, hang on a second, Warren. Like, let's think of some limitations here. He's like, we have no limitations. We have no restrictions. We are gods. Like, dude,
Yeah,
you're
typical
a
rich boy.
fox.
Typical rich boy mentality. I just be able to buy ourselves out, which is funny because like when Batman gets to him and is able to gets him to fucking slow down the snowmobile and gets him off, he starts like being like, "No, you can't get me. Like, I'll give you money. I'll give you $1 million." And you, you definitely trying to bribe the wrong person because you probably outbuy the three of you with ease.
And I'd like
So
to
yeah,
think that like Bruce like was able to like kind of like bring in some extra like judicial power to the prosecution because like we all know that rich people even if they did pull something off like this they'd probably not go to prison, but the fact that he does makes me think this is
it's
where
like
money should be used to
like
screw people who have it.
so he has more money than them, yeah. So he can out money them, yeah. So even if they try and how because I think he says he like has like all the judges in his pocket or something like that, and he's like, yeah, well, I can just double and then triple your fucking bribe. So like. So they can be all not to necessarily say he would do that, but he 100% could and like double, triple, and then quadruple it, and like it wouldn't even affect him at all. Yeah, so
How'd you win the case in court, Bruce? I bought the court.
Yeah, yeah. Then so and then you see like Orton get let into the jail cell, and he has like some like big hulking guy like cutting his nails, and he's like all shaking, and then like the door slams in behind him.
Welcome to Blackgate, bitch.
Oh yeah. I guess he would go to Blackgate because he's definitely not the super villain. He's like barely a regular villain.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's a rich guy, so I guess yeah, I guess not. Yeah, so that already makes him a villain. Yeah, so he just so just like regular villain. Yeah, so he gets.
Honestly, if they had sent him to Arkham, I would have like actually been insulted. It's like, so you are sending him to a minimum security prison.
But yeah, yes, I guess it does make sense. I keep on forgetting about Blackgate because obviously Arkham gets a lot more screen time and stuff. Yeah, so automatically I think jail in Gotham it's automatically Arkham and not a regular jail. So what would you give this episode out of five poorly chosen animal avatars?
I am going to give it a very low 2.5 out of 5. It just makes the cusp for me. The animation, yeah, it left much to be desired, especially in that one scene. And I mean, the terrible trio, it's as basic as you get, and so it was nice to see them at least make a half-assed attempt to try and make them as like this thematic team. And yeah, it was kind of funny the fact that like like we're villains because we're bored. Like whatever. Like it's hey, it's at least getting straight to the point. But yeah, Batman was getting a little too far behind considering that these are just three spoiled
Yeah,
punks.
they're barely, as I said, they're barely regular villains. So yeah, so it should be taking them out. If there was Batman and Robin, yeah, I definitely should have taken a lot more. Or those it should have been like a training exercise for Robin to be like, yeah, you figure this one out.
Yeah.
Because I've already figured it out because these guys are dumb, so you do it. So and I'll keep an eye on these guys, and they actually do something else, I'll be able to do it. But yeah, I think I'll give it a 2.5 as well too, because yeah, it was an okay enough episode, but oddly enough, the bad animation didn't really quite stick out. But yeah, but I also was barely paying attention half the thing too, so that may have been why as well, because well yeah, I guess they did do it well that we dislike the villains like right at the beginning because I said the first words out of the Fox's mouth like beginning of the episode, and I'm like, yeah, I 100% already fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
But it was
It's
like
your
an average
job.
episode. Yeah, an average episodes. Yeah, so I think I'll give it 2.5 out of five poorly chosen animal avatars as well. But yes, that is the episode for this week. Thank you for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman the animated series. Next week's episode will be no, it's not the Terrible Trio. That was this episode. Next week's episode will be Vamp Adam Vamp. It's Harley Quinn. There you go. And again, I will not make a joke about that. We'll just leave it at that. And yes, you can follow us on Twitter/X at Beyond Backcast, on Instagram at Beyond the Backcast, and we are on YouTube at youtube.com/at Beyond the Backcast. Check us out there. Give us a rate, review, subscribe. It'll help us out there. Do that, or wherever you find your podcasts. It'd be great. Where can we find you on the internet, Braden?
You can find me at my show, Fandom and Folklore, where we talk about fantasy movies and TV shows and the fandoms that follow them. And if you'd like to find out more from Beyond the Backcast, you can find the Instagram page, Beyond the Backcast, and go there to our link tree where you can see our link to our Discord where we talk about all sorts of Batman stuff.
All right. Yes, and you can follow me on Instagram at StunkChumpkin. That is my personal account. But as I said, thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman the Animated Series. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.